Hello my friends, welcome to another video. This one I guess is actually more of a vlog. I mean, it is a vlog. Um, First vlog I think I've ever done. And it might be what we're getting for the next little bit. I just wanted to update because I just went a full week without uploading after coming back and saying I'm going to upload 3 times a week. That is not for lack of trying. I've recorded 3 different videos, 4 different videos, and all of them failed to, I don't know, be YouTube ready, I guess, along various parts of the editing and uploading process. And that is, frustrating. I think my computer is just on the fritz, so I think the only type of video I'll be able to upload for the foreseeable future is this kind of sitting in front of the camera and talking stuff. So just vlogging, I guess, which I'm not opposed to. I don't really like being on camera, but I should get used to it. And it also maybe offers itself to be more friendly towards the kind of chill vibe that I try to bring to the function. So I guess to kind of just talk, I'm sitting in a parking lot right now at like 12:30, and I'm kind of nervous a cop is going to tell me to leave. And there's a headlight out, and I guess that's something we can talk about right now. Is recently I've been burnt out and very exhausted. This isn't new. Not even just, it's not new for only me, but it's not new for like everybody. I think everyone is getting burnt out recently, and I don't know what's up with that. I know for me it's work, and I don't know, here's the thing. There's a lot of stuff. This last week has just been kind of crappy, right? Like, I feel like butter spread over too much bread, you could even say. It's just, there's just a lot. And today I had like a full-on panic attack for having to go into a training for work that was like an hour long. I just drove an hour trip, like one way, so like 2 hours, to help a friend do something that took like 5 minutes, if that long. Which I'm not upset about, but and in a way, I don't know. And that's kind of what led me here is I gotta actually tonight have some time to take a drive. I don't have a car. This is my parents' car. And I actually got to take a drive and actually have some time alone. Because whenever I had a car and had, like when I lived with my parents when I was younger, I would take a drive to help myself cool down. And I can't do that anymore. And so it's been a little stressful. And I don't know, I'm just rambling, honestly. I talked to my apartment complex today. I went there yesterday to my apartment, to my actual apartment, and it still reeked of weed. And again, to be clear, I don't care if people do smoke weed. I don't care if they do drugs. I just don't want to be a part of it. I'm allergic to marijuana. I'm very sensitive to like smoke in general. And so I just, I can't live in a place where people are smoking anything, because I just physically I'm not able to like handle that. Morally, I don't care. Like, do whatever you want as long as you're not hurting anybody, I guess. This was a problem the first time I moved in, or the first time I went to try and move in to pick up my key. I smelt it. I emailed, called, texted. Nothing came of it until a few weeks after, and then they sent an email to me and all my roommates saying, don't do drugs, please, and we take it very seriously if you do. And then that's the last I heard of it from anybody. So yesterday I was like, all right, maybe that did the trick. So I went in, started moving some boxes in, because I've already paid for 2 months of rent and security deposit. So I'm over $2,000 in at this point. I haven't even spent more than like 10 minutes at the place because of like actual medical reasons. Anyway, I keep getting off the point. So I went in, smelled like weed still yesterday. Today I went into the office and I was like, hey, I'm having an issue. And they're like, oh yeah, we remember you. So they did a search. They searched everybody's rooms and they didn't find anything. And that bothers me a little bit because from the start I was telling them, I don't care if these people are doing drugs. I'm not trying to, if they're smoking, whatever. I'm not trying to get anybody in trouble. I couldn't care less. I'm just saying like as an individual, I'm particularly sensitive to that stuff. So just put me in a different apartment. That's all I want. And their response to that was to not communicate with me and to instead give my roommates a heads up before they did searches, and then they did searches and obviously didn't find anything. And so I was like, well, what are some options? Because I can't live there because like I'll suffocate. And then the lady was like, well, maybe, not definitely, but maybe if you get a doctor's note, then maybe you can submit a form to move to a different apartment, like a different room in a different apartment. And I'm like, okay, so you guys are telling me that I need a doctor's note that drugs are bad, and then maybe I can find a different place to live. In the place where you take smoking very seriously. And I know they didn't find anything. Obviously they didn't find anything because they gave everybody a heads up that they were on the prowl for drugs before they went to look for the drugs. And that circles back to, I don't even care if they are doing drugs. I just don't want to be there because I can't breathe it. Like, I physically, like, I will suffocate if I breathe that and like live in that environment. I'm like, I don't want you to room search anybody. I just want you to move me to a different apartment. And now I can't even do that unless I have a doctor's note saying that drugs are bad and that one shouldn't be near them because it's bad for you. And I know it's marijuana, and I know there's probably a lot of discussion and probably a lot of people disagree that that's bad for you. And maybe that's why she had me to get a note, because maybe, I don't know. But what I do know is now I have to move into a place because I don't have money for a doctor. I don't have insurance, that's for sure. I can't afford $200 to go visit the doctor. And so right now my option is I have to move into a place where the people who live there, it's obvious that I'm the person that's been having a problem with them smoking there. And I don't want to move into a place where I'm the reason that everybody there got searched and had their rooms searched. And that they've been getting pestered about, like, drugs. Where I'm like, my best odds are to just move in there and to just kind of be like, hey guys, yeah, sorry, that was all me. I didn't mean for that to happen. I was just trying to get somewhere. I didn't ask them to search. I didn't want them to. My goal was to just find a different place because I don't want to interrupt what you guys are doing. I don't want to be a part of it. I just want to live somewhere else. And their response to that was, I just heard someone freaking, it sounded like that came from like right behind me. I'm sorry. I thought I heard a cop like saying something on their speaker phone. I don't know. There was a guy parked directly in front of him with his lights on, so he probably thinks I'm weird for talking into nothing. I don't know. I don't really care, but anyway, it's probably good that happened. I was getting on a very deep tangent. It's just deeply frustrating that I've paid so much money for a place I can't even live in, and the people that are in charge of that just don't care enough, because they probably, like, it makes sense from like a business, like from a business standpoint, it makes sense, right? Like, if there is a drug problem, because I know. I've been stewing on the fact I think it's weird that they won't move me into a new apartment. Like it's in my mind that seems so easy. You just copy and paste my name into a different thing on like some forum that they have and then like I'm good. But thinking about it deeper, because everyone knows that landlords just want money and like they'll do whatever it takes to get money. And it makes sense. To them, it doesn't matter if someone has an allergy or an opposition of any kind to like anything. Because if they move me to a new apartment, that means they have an apartment open where there's a drug problem. And now that they know there's a drug problem, they're probably worried that anyone that would want to move into that apartment won't want to because it has a drug problem. Whereas with me, I already have a contract for that apartment. So whether or not I'm living there, I'm still paying the rent, which is all they care about. Which makes sense because they're running a business and they want the money. And so, I don't know. That's where I'm at with it right now. And it's just frustrating. And it sucks that, I can't live in my parents' basement forever. Like, their house is already overflowing with my stuff, which is why I started moving stuff over. And I'm like, I'm just stuck and like I'm gonna try putting up my apartment on like an ad, but again that runs into the problem of the school season has already started. So it's gonna be hard to find someone who wants to buy that stuff. And further than that, it does have like it smells like weed. It smells bad of weed. Like my eyes start watering and I almost like I'm nauseous to the point of throwing up just being in there for a few minutes. So I don't know. I don't know. That might be a hot topic. Maybe not. But that's kind of where things are at. My setup is still kind of weird. My computer, even if my setup wasn't weird, even if I had a good setup, my computer is just acting up. So I might just have to wipe its memory, as it were, and just give it the old factory reset. But all that being said, and there's like, I know, there's some other stuff that doesn't matter. Like, I don't know, I don't like hopping on here and complaining, but those are things that are on my mind, very on my mind. And just work is just stressful. And like, I could deep dive into that, but there's no point because it's work and everyone knows how everyone hates their job and that's just the way it is, I guess. But so, and I don't know. I'm just grateful, honestly. I'm grateful I had to go help my friend tonight, even though I have to work tomorrow and it's late. I'm grateful that he needed my help. Well, I'm flattered, first of all, that he needed my help. It's always nice when someone wants to, like, see you and talk to you. And, like, it's always nice when someone wants you specifically to help them, right? Like, he has other friends that have cars that live closer to him that could have helped. And it's cool that he wanted me to. So that means a lot to me. And it was also nice. I actually got to take a nice long drive tonight, you know? And I might have taken a longer drive, but there's a headlight out. And we fixed it, but then it went out again when I was driving. Because I think we just didn't put it in the socket right. And I tried fixing it myself, but I don't even know why I tried. Because I'm as incompetent as a freaking drunken donkey. I'm just completely useless when it comes to like most things. But But it's nice to have time to reflect and think. I feel a lot less stressed and anxious than I was earlier today. Like I said, I had a full-on panic attack just at the idea of having to go to work and not really having any outlets because, I don't have any like someone is driving their car intentionally into a grocery cart. That is, and now they're driving away. Anyway, it's just nice to reflect, and it's nice to kind of prepare yourself, trying to find things to look forward to. Well, I want to try and tie this into some sort of supportive, happy message that makes it so I'm not just complaining this whole video, but I mean, there's nothing supportive or encouraging I could say right now with my heart behind it. I'm just burnt out right now. I feel like every avenue that I'm trying to go down is just blocked or shut. Oh, there's a security boy. Yep, and he's probably going to come over and say, hey, you know you can't lounge here, right? Yep. Okay, one sec. Yeah, there was definitely just some security that came by, and I think he took a picture of my car. I'm going to go. Man. Well, in any case, I guess if I had to like put a moral of the story on this, I would say this. Just, I don't know. You gotta keep pushing through. And maybe the lesson I've learned tonight is that like, don't underestimate like taking a break for yourself. You know, like take time for yourself. Do things that you enjoy. Do things to cool off. It makes a difference. You only have so much you can fit in your emotional bucket, so you might as well do what you can to help fill that up. But yeah, that security guy's making me nervous, so I'm gonna peace out. But thank you all for watching. See you all on the next one. Bye.